Are you learning vocabulary? Here are the 504 most essential English words you should learn first. Hi everyone. I'm Heslam from www.translatein.com. This vocabulary list has 504 words and it shows definitions for each word. So let's get started. Abandon. Abandon. Forsake, leave behind. Keen. Keen. Intense or sharp. Jealous. Jealous. Suspicious or fearful of being displaced by a rival. Tact. Tact. Consideration in dealing with others. Oath. Oath. A solemn promise regarding your future acts or behavior. Vacant. Vacant. Without an occupant or incumbent. Hardship. Hardship. Something difficult to endure. Gallant. Gallant. Having or displaying great dignity or nobility. Data. Data. A collection of facts from which conclusions may be drawn. Unaccustomed. Unaccustomed. Not habituated to, unfamiliar with. Bachelor. Bachelor. A man who has never been married. Qualify. Qualify. Prove capable or fit, meet requirements. Corpse. Corpse. The dead body of a human being. Conceal. Conceal. Prevent from being seen or discovered. Dismal. Dismal. Causing dejection. Frigid. Frigid. Extremely cold. Inhabit. Inhabit. Live in. Be a resident of. Numb. Numb. Lacking sensation. Peril. Peril. A state of danger involving risk. Recline. Recline. Move the upper body backwards and down. Shriek. Shriek. Sharp piercing cry. Sinister. Sinister. Wicked, evil, or dishonorable. Tempt. Tempt. Dispose, incline, or entice to. Wager. Wager. The act of gambling. Typical. Typical. Exhibiting the qualities that identify a group or kind. Minimum. Minimum. The smallest possible quantity. Scarce. Scarce. Deficient in quantity or number compared with the demand. Annual. Annual. Occurring every year. Persuade. Persuade. Cause somebody to adopt a certain position or belief. Essential. Essential. Basic and fundamental. Blend. Blend. Mix together different elements. Visible. Visible. Capable of being seen or open to easy view. Expensive. Expensive. High in price or charging high prices. Talent. Talent. Natural abilities or qualities. Devise. Devise. Arrange by systematic planning and united effort. Wholesale. Wholesale. The selling of goods to merchants. Vapor. Vapor. A visible suspension in the air of particles of a substance. Eliminate. Eliminate. End, take out, or do away with. Villain. Villain. Someone who does evil deliberately. Dense. Dense. Having high compaction or concentration. Utilize. Utilize. Put into service. Humid. Humid. Containing or characterized by a great deal of water vapor. Theory. Theory. A belief that can guide behavior. Descend. Descend. Move downward and lower, but not necessarily all the way. Circulate. Circulate. Move through a system and return to the starting point. Enormous. Enormous. Extraordinarily large in size or extent or degree. Predict. Predict. Tell in advance. Vanish. Vanish. Become invisible or unnoticeable. Tradition. Tradition. A specific practice of long-standing. Rural. Rural. Living in or characteristic of farming or country life. Burden. Burden. Weight to be borne or conveyed. Campus. Campus. A field on which the buildings of a university are situated. Majority. Majority. The main part. Assemble. Assemble. Create by putting components or members together. Explore. Explore. Travel to or penetrate into. Topic. Topic. The subject matter of a conversation or discussion. Debate. Debate. A discussion with reasons for and against some proposal. Evade. Evade. Avoid or try to avoid fulfilling, answering, or performing. Probe. Probe. An exploratory action or expedition. Reform. Reform. Make changes for improvement to remove abuse and injustices. Approach. Approach. Move towards. Detect. Detect. Discover or determine the existence, presence, or effect of. Defect. Defect. A failing or deficiency. Employee. Employee. A worker who is hired to perform a job. Neglect. Neglect. Leave undone or leave out. Deceive. Deceive. Cause someone to believe an untruth. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. Certainly. Popular. Popular. Regarded with great favor or approval by the general public. Thorough. Thorough. Painstakingly careful and accurate. Client. Client. Someone who pays for goods or services. Comprehensive. Comprehensive. Including all or everything. Defraud. Defraud. Deprive of by deceit. Postpone. Postpone. Hold back to a later time. Consent. Consent. Give an affirmative reply to, respond favorably to. Massive. Massive. Containing a great quantity of matter. Capsule. Capsule. A small container. Preserve. Preserve. Keep in safety and protect from harm, loss, or destruction. Denounce. Denounce. Speak out against. Unique. Unique. The single one of its kind. Torrent. Torrent. An overwhelming number or amount. Resonant. Resonant. Feel bitter or indignant about. Molest. Molest. Harass or assault sexually. Make indecent advances to. Gloomy. Gloomy. Depressingly dark. Unforeseen. Unforeseen. Not anticipated. Exaggerate. Exaggerate. Enlarge beyond bounds or the truth. Amateur. Amateur. Someone who pursues a study or sport as a pastime. Mediocre. Mediocre. Moderate to inferior in quality. Variety. Variety. A category of things distinguished by a common quality. Valid. Valid. Well-grounded in logic or truth or having legal force. Survive. Survive. Continue in existence after. Weird. Weird. Strikingly odd or unusual. Prominent. Prominent. Conspicuous in position or importance. Security. Security. The state of being free from danger or injury. Bulky. Bulky. Of large size for its weight. Reluctant. Reluctant. Not eager. Obvious. Obvious. Easily perceived by the senses or grasped by the mind. Vicinity. Vicinity. A surrounding or nearby region. Century. Century. A period of 100 years. Rage. Rage. A feeling of intense anger. Document. Document. A representation of a person's thinking with symbolic marks. Conclude. Conclude. Bring to a close. Undeniable. Undeniable. Not possible to contradict. Resist. Resist. Withstand the force of something. Lack. Lack. The state of needing something that is absent or unavailable. Ignore. Ignore. Refuse to acknowledge. Challenge. Challenge. A call to engage in a contest or fight. Miniature. Miniature. Being on a very small scale. Source. Source. The place where something begins. Excel. Excel. Distinguish oneself. Feminine. Feminine. Associated with women and not with men. Mount. Mount. Go up, advance, or increase. Compete. Compete. Engage in a contest or measure oneself against others. Dread. Dread. Fearful expectation or anticipation. Masculine. Masculine. Associated with men and not with women. Menace. Menace. Something that is a source of danger. Tendency. Tendency. An inclination to do something. Underestimate. Underestimate. Make too low an approximation of. Victorious. Victorious. Having won. Numerous. Numerous. Amounting to a large indefinite number. Flexible. Flexible. Able to bend easily. Evidence. Evidence. Knowledge on which to base belief. Solitary. Solitary. Not growing or living in groups or colonies. Vision. Vision. The ability to see. Frequent. Frequent. Coming at short intervals or habitually. Glimpse. Glimpse. A brief or incomplete view. Recent. Recent. Of the immediate past or just previous to the present time. Decade. Decade. A period of 10 years. Hesitate. Hesitate. Pause or hold back in uncertainty or unwillingness. Absurd. Absurd. Inconsistent with reason or logic or common sense. Conflict. Conflict. An open clash between two opposing groups. Minority. Minority. Being or relating to the smaller in number of two parts. Fiction. Fiction. A literary work based on the imagination. Ignite. Ignite. Cause to start burning. Abolish. Abolish. Do away with. Urban. Urban. Relating to a city or densely populated area. Population. Population. The people who inhabit a territory or state. Frank. Frank. Characterized by directness in manner or speech. Pollute. Pollute. Make impure. Reveal. Reveal. Make visible. Prohibit. Prohibit. Command against. Urgent. Urgent. Compelling immediate action. Adequate. Adequate. Having the requisite qualities or resources to meet a task. Decrease. Decrease. A change downward. Audible. Audible. Heard or perceptible by the ear. Journalist. Journalist. A person who writes or broadcasts news stories. Famine. Famine. A severe shortage of food resulting in starvation and death. Revive. Revive. Cause to regain consciousness. Commence. Commence. Set in motion, cause to start. Observant. Observant. Quick to notice, showing quick and keen perception. Identify. Identify. Recognize as being. Migrate. Migrate. Move from one country or region to another and settle there. Vessel. Vessel. An object used as a container, especially for liquids. Persist. Persist. Refuse to stop. Easy. Easy. Filter abounding with fog or mist. Gleam. Gleam. A flash of light. Editor. Editor. The person who determines the final content of a text. Unruly. Unruly. Unable to be governed or controlled. Rival. Rival. The contestant you hope to defeat. Violent. Violent. Acting with great force or energy or emotional intensity. Brutal. Brutal. Resembling a beast, showing lack of human sensibility. Opponent. Opponent. Someone who offers resistance. Brawl. Brawl. To quarrel noisily, angrily or disruptively. Duplicate. Duplicate. A copy that corresponds to an original exactly. Vicious. Vicious. Having the nature of evil doing. Whirl. Whirl. The shape of something rotating rapidly. Underdog. Underdog. One who is at a disadvantage and expected to lose. Thrust. Thrust. Push forcefully. Bewildered. Bewildered. Perplexed by many conflicting situations or statements. Expand. Expand. Extend in one or more directions. Alter. Alter. Cause to change. Make different. Mature. Mature. Having reached full natural growth or development. Sacred. Sacred. Made or declared or believed to be holy. Revise. Revise. Make changes to. Pledge. Pledge. A binding commitment to do or give or refrain from something. Casual. Casual. Without or seeming to be without plan or method, offhand. Pursue. Pursue. Follow in an effort to capture. Unanimous. Unanimous. In complete agreement. Fortunate. Fortunate. Having unexpected good luck. Pioneer. Pioneer. When the first colonists or settlers in a new territory. Innovative. Innovative. Being like nothing done or experienced or created before. Slender. Slender. Having little width in proportion to the length or height. Surpass. Surpass. Be or do something to a greater degree. Vast. Vast. Unusually great in size or amount or extent or scope. Doubt. Doubt. The state of being unsure of something. Capacity. Capacity. Capability to perform or produce. Penetrate. Penetrate. Pass into or through, often by overcoming resistance. Pierce. Pierce. Penetrate or cut through with a sharp instrument. Accurate. Accurate. Characterized by perfect conformity to fact or truth. Microscope. Microscope. Magnifier of the image of small objects. Grateful. Grateful. Feeling or showing thankfulness. Cautious. Cautious. Showing careful forethought. Confident. Confident. Having or marked by assurance. Appeal. Appeal. Earnest or urgent request. Addict. Addict. To cause to become dependent. Worry. Worry. Marked by keen caution and watchful prudence. Aware. Aware. Having or showing knowledge or understanding or realization. Misfortune. Misfortune. A state resulting from unfavorable outcomes. Avoid. Avoid. Stay away from. Wretched. Wretched. Deserving or inciting pity. Keg. Keg. Small cask or barrel. Nourish. Nourish. Provide with sustenance. harsh, harsh, disagreeable to the senses, quantity, quantity, how much there is or how many there are of something, opt, opt, select as an alternative over another, tragedy, tragedy, an event resulting in great loss and misfortune, pedestrian, pedestrian, a person who travels by foot, glance, glance, take a brief look at, budget, budget, a summary of intended expenditures, nimble, nimble, moving quickly and lightly, manipulate, manipulate, influence or control shrewdly or deviously, reckless, reckless, marked by defiant disregard for danger or consequences, horrid, horrid, grossly offensive to decency or morality, rave, rave, talk in a noisy, excited, or declamatory manner, economical, economical, using the minimum of time or resources for effectiveness, lubricate, lubricate, make slippery or smooth, ingenious, ingenious, showing inventiveness and skill, harvest, harvest, the gathering of a ripened crop, abundant, abundant, present in great quantity, uneasy, uneasy, causing or fraught with or showing anxiety, calculate, calculate, make a mathematical computation, absorb, absorb, take in a liquid, estimate, estimate, judge tentatively, morsel, morsel, a small amount of solid food, a mouthful, quota, quota, a prescribed number, threat, threat, declaration of an intention to inflict harm on another, ban, ban, prohibit especially by law or social pressure, panic, panic, an overwhelming feeling of fear and anxiety, appropriate, appropriate, suitable for a particular person, place, or situation, emerge, emerge, come out into view, as from concealment, jagged, jagged, having a sharply uneven surface or outline, linger, linger, Remain present although winning or gradually dying. Ambush. Ambush. Concealing yourself and lying in wait to attack by surprise. Crafty. Crafty. Marked by skill and deception. Defiant. Defiant. Boldly resisting authority or an opposing force. Vigor. Vigor. Forceful exertion. Perish. Perish. Pass from physical life. Fragile. Fragile. Easily broken or damaged or destroyed. Captive. Captive. A person who is confined, especially a prisoner of war. Prosper. Prosper. Make steady progress. Devour. Devour. Eat immoderately. Plea. Plea. A humble request for help from someone in authority. Weary. Weary. Physically and mentally fatigued. Collide. Collide. Crash together with violent impact. Confirm. Confirm. Strengthen. Verify. Verify. Confirm the truth of. Anticipate. Anticipate. Regard something as probable or likely. Dilemma. Dilemma. State of uncertainty in a choice between unfavorable options. Detour. Detour. A roundabout road or route. Merit. Merit. The quality of being deserving. Transmit. Transmit. Send from one person or place to another. Relieve. Relieve. Free from a burden, evil, or distress. Baffle. Baffle. Be a mystery or bewildering to. Warden. Warden. The chief official in charge of a prison. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Declare to be true or admit the existence or reality of. Justice. Justice. The quality of being just or fair. Delinquent. Delinquent. A young offender. Reject. Reject. Refuse to accept or acknowledge. Deprive. Deprive. Take away. Spouse. Spouse. A person's partner in marriage. Vocation. Vocation. the particular occupation for which you are trained. Unstable. Unstable. Subject to change. Variable. Homicide. Homicide. The killing of a human being by another human being. Penalize. Penalize. Inflict punishment on. Beneficiary. Beneficiary. The recipient of funds or other advantages. Reptile. Reptile. A cold-blooded vertebrate including snakes and lizards. Rarely. Rarely. Not often. Forbid. Forbid. Command against. Logical. Logical. Based on known statements or events or conditions. Exhibit. Exhibit. Show. Make visible or apparent. Proceed. Proceed. Move ahead. Travel onward in time or space. Precaution. Precaution. A measure taken in advance to ward off impending danger. Extract. Extract. Remove, usually with some force or effort. Prior. Prior. Earlier in time. Embrace. Embrace. Squeeze tightly in your arms, usually with fondness. Valiant. Valiant. Having or showing heroism or courage. Partial. Partial. Being or affecting only a segment. Fierce. Fierce. Marked by extreme and violent energy. Detest. Detest. Dislike intensely. Sneer. Sneer. A facial expression of contempt or scorn. Scowl. Scowl. Frown with displeasure. Encourage. Encourage. Inspire with confidence. Consider. Consider. Think about carefully. Weigh. Vermin. Vermin. Any of various small animals or insects that are pests. Wail. Wail. A cry of sorrow and grief. Symbol. Symbol. Something visible that represents something invisible. Authority. Authority. The power or right to give orders or make decisions. Neutral. Neutral. Having no personal preference. Trifle. Trifle. A detail that is considered insignificant. Architect. Architect. Someone who creates plans to be used in making something. Matrimony. Matrimony. State of being a married couple voluntarily joined for life. Baggage. Baggage. Cases used to carry belongings when traveling. Squander. Squander. Spent thoughtlessly. Throw away. Abroad. Abroad. To or in a foreign country. Fugitive. Fugitive. Someone who is sought by law officers. Calamity. Calamity. An event resulting in great loss and misfortune. Pauper. Pauper. A person who is very poor. Envy. Envy. A desire to have something that is possessed by another. Collapse. Collapse. Break down, literally or metaphorically. Prosecute. Prosecute. Conduct legal proceedings against a defendant. Bigamy. Bigamy. The offense of marrying someone while you have a spouse. Possible. Possible. Capable of happening or existing. Compel. Compel. Force somebody to do something. Awkward. Awkward. Lacking grace or skill in manner or movement or performance. Venture. Venture. An undertaking with an uncertain outcome. Awesome. Awesome. Inspiring admiration or wonder. Guide. Guide. Someone employed to conduct others. Quench. Quench. Satisfy, as thirst. Betray. Betray. Deliver to an enemy by treachery. Utter. Utter. Without qualification. Pacify. Pacify. Ease the anger, agitation, or strong emotion of. Respond. Respond. Show a reaction to something. Beckon. Beckon. Summon with a wave, nod, or some other gesture. Despite. Despite. Contemptuous disregard. Disrupt. Disrupt. Make a break in. Rash. Rash. Imprudently incurring risk. Rapid. Rapid. Characterized by speed. Exhaust. Exhaust. Wear out completely. Severity. Severity. Excessive sternness. Feeble. feeble, pathetically lacking in force or effectiveness. Unite, unite, join or combine. Cease, cease, put an end to a state or an activity. Thrifty, thrifty, mindful of the future in spending money. Miserly, miserly, characterized by or indicative of lack of generosity. Monarch, monarch, a nation's ruler usually by hereditary right. Outlaw, outlaw, a criminal, especially one on the run from police. Promote, promote, assigned to a higher position. Undernourished, undernourished, not getting adequate food. Illustrate, illustrate, depict with a visual representation. Disclose, disclose, expose to viewers by removing a cover. Excessive, excessive, beyond normal limits. Disaster, disaster, an event resulting in great loss and misfortune. Censor, censor, a person authorized to suppress unacceptable material. Culprit, culprit, someone or something responsible for harm or wrongdoing. Juvenile, juvenile, of or relating to children or young people. Bait, bait, something used to lure fish or other animals. Insist, insist, be emphatic or resolute and refuse to budge. Toil, toil, work hard. Blunder, blunder, an embarrassing mistake. Daze, daze, confusion characterized by lack of clarity. Mourn, mourn, feel sadness. Subside, subside, wear off or die down. Maim, maim, injure or wound seriously and leave permanent disfiguration. Comprehend, comprehend, get the meaning of something. Commend, commend, present as worthy of regard, kindness, or confidence. Final, final, an examination administered at the end of an academic term. Exempt, exempt, freed from or not subject to an obligation or liability. Vain, vain, having an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Repetition. Repetition. The act of doing or performing again. Depict. Depict. Give a description of. Mortal. Mortal. Subject to death. Novel. Novel. An extended fictional work in prose. Occupant. Occupant. Someone who lives at a particular place for a long period. Appoint. Appoint. Assign a duty, responsibility, or obligation to. Quarter. Quarter. One of 4 equal parts. Site. Site. The piece of land on which something is located. Quote. Quote. Repeat a passage from. Verse. Verse. A piece of poetry. Morality. Morality. The quality of being in accord with right or good conduct. Roam. Roam. Move about aimlessly or without any destination. Attract. Attract. Exert a force on. Commuter. Commuter. Someone who travels regularly to and from work. Confine. Confine. Place limits on. Idle. Idle. Not in action or at work. Idol. Idol. A material effigy that is worshipped. Jest. Jest. Activity characterized by good humor. Patriotic. Patriotic. Inspired by love for your country. Dispute. Dispute. The act of coming into conflict. Valor. Valor. Courage when facing danger. Lunatic. Lunatic. An insane person. Vein. Vein. A blood vessel that carries blood toward the heart. Eventful. Eventful. Characterized by many noteworthy happenings or incidents. Fertile. Fertile. Capable of reproducing. Refer. Refer. Make a remark that calls attention to. Distress. Distress. A state of adversity. Diminish. Diminish. Decrease in size, extent, or range. Maximum. Maximum. The greatest or most complete or best possible. Flee. Flee. Run away quickly. vulnerable, vulnerable, capable of being wounded or hurt. Signify, signify, denote or connote. Mythology, mythology, the body of stories associated with a culture or institution. Colleague, colleague, an associate that one works with. Torment, torment, intense feelings of suffering, acute mental or physical pain. Provide, provide, give something useful or necessary to. Loyalty, loyalty, the quality of being steadfast in allegiance or duty. Volunteer, volunteer, a person who performs work done by choice. Prejudice, prejudice, a partiality preventing objective consideration of an issue. Shrill, shrill, having or emitting a high-pitched and sharp tone or tones. Jolly, jolly, full of or showing high-spirited merriment. Witty, witty, demonstrating striking cleverness and humor. Hinder, hinder, be an obstacle to. Lecture, lecture, a speech that is open to the public. Abuse, abuse, cruel or inhumane treatment. Mumble, mumble, talk indistinctly, usually in a low voice. Mute, mute, expressed without speech. Wad, wad, a small mass of soft material. Retain, retain, secure and keep for possible future use or application. Candidate, candidate, someone who is considered for something. Proceed, proceed, be earlier in time. Adolescent, adolescent, a juvenile between the onset of puberty and maturity. Coeducational, coeducational, attended by members of both sexes. Radical, radical, far beyond the norm. Spontaneous, spontaneous, said or done without having been planned in advance. Skim, skim, remove from the surface. Vaccinate, vaccinate, produce immunity in by inoculation. Tidy, tidy, marked by order and cleanliness in appearance or habits. Utensil, utensil, An implement for practical use. Sensitive. Sensitive. Responsive to physical stimuli. Temperate. Temperate. Not extreme. Vague. Vague. Lacking clarity or distinctness. Elevate. Elevate. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Lottery. Lottery. A game in which players buy chances to win. Finance. Finance. The commercial activity of providing funds and capital. Obtain. Obtain. Come into possession of. Cinema. Cinema. A medium that disseminates moving pictures. Event. Event. Something that happens at a given place and time. Discard. Discard. Anything that is cast aside. Soar. Soar. Rise rapidly. Subsequent. Subsequent. Following in time or order. Relate. Relate. Give an account of. Stationary. Stationary. Not capable of being moved. Prompt. Prompt. According to schedule or without delay. Hasty. Hasty. Excessively quick. Scorch. Scorch. Burn slightly and superficially so as to affect color. Tempest. Tempest. A violent commotion or disturbance. Soothe. Soothe. Cause to feel better. Sympathetic. Sympathetic. Expressing compassion or friendly fellow feelings. Redeem. Redeem. Exchange or buy back for money, under threat. Resume. Resume. Take up or begin anew. Harmony. Harmony. Compatibility in opinion and action. Refrain. Refrain. Resist doing something. Illegal. Illegal. Prohibited by law or by official or accepted rules. Narcotic. Narcotic. A drug that produces numbness or stupor. Heir. Heir. A person entitled by law to inherit the estate of another. Majestic. Majestic. Having or displaying great dignity or nobility. Dwindle. Dwindle. Become smaller or lose substance. Surplus. Surplus. A quantity much larger than is needed. Traitor. Traitor. A person who says one thing and does another. Deliberate. Deliberate. Carefully thought out in advance. Vandal. Vandal. Someone who willfully destroys or defaces property. Drought. Drought. A shortage of rainfall. Abide. Abide. Dwell. Unify. Unify. Join or combine. Summit. Summit. The top or extreme point of something. Heat. Heat. Careful attention. Biography. Biography. An account of the series of events making up a person's life. Drench. Drench. Cover with liquid. Pour liquid onto. Swarm. Swarm. A group of many things in the air or on the ground. Wobble. Wobble. Move sideways or in an unsteady way. Tumult. Tumult. A state of commotion and noise and confusion. Kneel. Kneel. Rest one's weight on one's knees. Dejected. Dejected. Affected or marked by low spirits. Obedient. Obedient. Dutifully complying with the commands of those in authority. Recede. Recede. Pull back or move away or backward. Tyrant. Tyrant. A cruel and oppressive dictator. Charity. Charity. An institution set up to provide help to the needy. Verdict. Verdict. Findings of a jury on issues submitted to it for decision. Unearth. Unearth. Recover through digging. Depart. Depart. Go away or leave. Coincide. Coincide. Happen simultaneously. Cancel. Cancel. Declare null and void. Debtor. Debtor. A person who owes a creditor. Legable. Legable. Capable of being read or deciphered. Placard. Placard. A sign posted in a public place. Contagious. Contagious. Capable of being transmitted by infection. Clergy. Clergy. The entire class of religious officials in Christianity. Customary. Customary. Commonly used or practiced. Transparent. Transparent. Transmitting light, able to be seen through with clarity. Scald. Scald. Burn with a hot liquid or steam. Epidemic. Epidemic. A widespread outbreak of an infectious disease. Obesity. Obesity. The condition of being excessively overweight. Magnify. Magnify. Increase in size, volume or significance. Chiropractor. Chiropractor. A therapist who practices chiropractic. Obstacle. Obstacle. Something that stands in the way and must be surmounted. Ventilate. Ventilate. Furnish with an opening to allow air to circulate or escape. Jeopardize. Jeopardize. Pose a threat to, present a danger to. Negative. Negative. Characterized by denial or opposition or resistance. Pension. Pension. Regular payment to allow a person to subsist without working. Vital. Vital. Performing an essential function in the living body. Municipal. Municipal. Relating to a self-governing district. Oral. Oral. Using speech rather than writing. Complacent. Complacent. Contented to default with oneself or one's actions. Wasp. Wasp. Social or solitary hymenopterans typically having a slender body with the abdomen attached by a narrow stalk and having a formidable sting. Rehabilitate. Rehabilitate. Help to adapt, as to a former state of health or repute. Parole. Parole. A conditional release from imprisonment. Vertical. Vertical. At right angles to the plane of the horizon or a baseline. Multitude. Multitude. A large indefinite number. Nominate. Nominate. Propose as a candidate for some honor. Potential. Potential. Existing in possibility. Morgue. Morgue. A building or room where dead bodies are kept before burial. Preoccupied. Preoccupied. Having excessive or compulsive concern with something. Upholstery. Upholstery. covering on a piece of furniture. Indifference. Indifference. The trait of remaining calm and seeming not to care. Maintain. Maintain. Keep in a certain state, position, or activity. Snub. Snub. Refuse to acknowledge. Endure. Endure. Undergo or be subjected to. Wrath. Wrath. Intense anger. Expose. Expose. Show. Make visible or apparent. Legend. Legend. A story about mythical or supernatural beings or events. Ponder. Ponder. Reflect deeply on a subject. Resign. Resign. Accept as inevitable. Drastic. Drastic. Forceful and extreme and rigorous. Wharf. Wharf. A platform from the shore that provides access to ships. Amend. Amend. Make revisions to. Ballot. Ballot. A document listing the alternatives that is used in voting. Thank you for watching. Here are a couple of videos that I suggest you watch next. Before you move on to next video, if you find this video helpful, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Just click the link in the description below and enable all notifications. You'll be notified whenever I upload my next video. Thank you so much. See you soon.